I ain't even gonna hold y'all. My relationship with money is bad, and this is why we are doing No Spend November. Me and my husband came up with this idea in October because we just felt like we would get to the end of the day, we would get to the end of the month and say, what in the world are we spending our money on? Where is our money going? And yes, you can have a bad relationship with money. Sometimes if it's available to us, we're going to spend it, and that's not how it should be. That is reckless spending. We wanted to get a hold of that. So No Spend November, we are going to be only buying the necessities that we need for our household. Yes, that's going to cause some people to look at you different because we're not going to be able to make it to the birthday dinners. We're not going to be able to make it to the extra things that are not in our budget for that month. Everybody doesn't have to understand. Only you have to understand what it is that you're doing in your household. I talked to my husband about it, and my husband said that even if we don't spend at the birthday dinners, we can still go and attend. If somebody asks us if we want to eat, we will just turn down the offer. But this is something that we want to do for our household. We are spending money on things that we really don't need, and in reality, we should be getting the things that we need. Now, No Spend November is going to cause you to have some patience because there are going to be days where we want to stop, where it's more convenient to stop at McDonald's. It's more convenient to stop at parties. It's more convenient to stop and get a pizza. It's going to make me cook earlier, and it's just going to make me have to plan my life out even better. Sometimes we don't want the things that are better for us. Things that are better for us take time. Meal prepping takes time. We are a family of 6, which means that I have to plan for the week. I already told my husband that for groceries, we are probably going to spend about $100 each Sunday, and I'm going to get whatever I need within that $100 budget. I am going to be shopping at Aldi because Aldi has become my favorite store within the last couple months. All of these other stores have just got ridiculous. And that's just going to cause us to go home earlier. That's going to cause us to go home sooner. That's going to cause the kids to have to get the snacks that they want at the house. And we are definitely going on a more healthier journey for our food as well. I can admit, sometimes it's easier and quicker for me to make a meal that's not that good for us instead of taking the time out and having patience, planning out my meals. Planning is a great thing to do. When you plan to fail, you fail to plan. You fail to plan, you plan to fail, however it goes. But I already said that this month I want to sit down and I want to actually make a meal plan for the month. That way it's better for me and it's better for my children to know what are they coming home to eat at night. I don't want to think about what I'm cooking on Monday for Monday night. I don't want to think about what I'm cooking Tuesday for Tuesday now. And this will actually help me and my husband as well to look at that calendar on what we're eating and take that meat out for me. If I forget to take out the drumsticks, if I forget to take out the ground beef, my husband will be able to see what I'm cooking that week and he'll be able to help me. Sometimes we say that our husbands and our spouses aren't helping the way that we should or the way that they should. Sometimes we are not helping our husbands the way that we should because we don't know what they need help with. The husbands don't know what we want help with. They can't read our minds. So this is going to help us with communication. It's going to help us with better planning, better budgeting. And I'm just excited to see how this is going to turn out. I actually sat down last night on October 31st and I wrote down what it is that are our necessities. The necessities are what we're going to be focusing on buying at this beginning of the month to see how long these things last us. I did get our soap. I did put our tissue. I did put toothpaste, the sanitary napkins for me and my daughter. I did put all of those things together and that stuff only came up to $70. Imagine if I'm only spending $70 on those necessities. Now this is going to come with sacrificing some things. You're going to have to sacrifice that Shein cart. You're going to have to sacrifice that Amazon cart because sometimes the things that we are adding to our carts are actually wants and not the things that we can need. A need is something that you cannot live without. Wants are just things that you just feel like you can just buy just because, oh, I think I need a new shirt. Oh, I think I need a new shoe, some new shoes. If your shoes aren't talking, if your shoes don't have a hole at the bottom, baby, that is a want. That is not a need. And so it's nothing wrong with getting those wants. But when you want to create better spending habits, some things just going to have to wait. I want to see how this can go and maybe we can set this up to go longer. I did watch a couple of videos on people doing no spend challenges. And I saw one lady that actually said she went the whole year without spending on any wants. And she said she saved almost 50% of her salary. That was inspiring to me. If we can have the money for the places that we want to go and actually set those times and set those goals to go on a big trip in the next couple months. If we want to have money for a rainy day, we're not claiming rainy days, don't get me wrong, but we got to be realistic. Anything can happen. We don't know what tomorrow holds. The Bible says do not worry about tomorrow, for I believe that we still should have wisdom in knowing that anything can happen. Anything can happen. We don't know. Tomorrow is not promised. So having things saved up for those days where you just don't feel like going out the house, you just don't feel like cooking, maybe you need to order some Uber Eats. When you're done with your no spend challenge, you will have that money right there set in stone for you. Social media, it has become such an influence, and I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes when I'm scrolling, I can be just said something, and as soon as I get on social media, the very thing that I was just talking about is on my timeline, it's on my news feed, and I have a problem with that because it's influencing us to buy more things. Just think about when you were hungry, you felt like you was hungry, you felt like you wanted to go and get something to eat. And as soon as you get on social media, the first thing coming up is a Publix sub. Now all of a sudden you want a Publix sub. These social media platforms, they have made it to the point where they can actually hear our thoughts, I feel like. And if you are not strong in your mind, you allow social media to influence you. I definitely want to do a video on how not having social media has changed my life. I do have YouTube, which is a form of content, which is a form of social media. But I don't have a bad relationship with YouTube. I'm not on it always. I'm not on it letting it take up most of my time. I did have a bad relationship with Facebook. I had a bad relationship with Instagram. I had a bad relationship with TikTok, where I was just scrolling, doom scrolling all day long and not getting things done that I should have been getting done. And I had to cut all of that out. And I am now at 90 days without any of those platforms. And I'm so excited about it. It feels so good and so amazing to live in a world outside of social media. I feel like my life is moving slower. My life is going at the pace that it should be going. I actually put my life in God's hands and not in my own. I'm actually going by the plans that God has for me and not the plans I have for myself, because I was allowing the things that I saw on social media to dictate my life. Amazing, y'all, but that's a whole nother subject. But let me know if you guys have any plans for November, what you're thinking about, what you think about doing, what steps you plan on taking to get a better life before January. And I would love to hear those things. But until then, I will see you guys on day 2. See you later.